as we journey through life. There's a point where we naturally slow down and think more about our experiences. The hustle and bustle of our youth gradually transforms into a more thoughtful way of life. For many, this change brings a clearer understanding of what's truly important: our health, our connections with others, and our relationship with the world. At its heart, slow living is about making purposeful decisions that match our values. It's about enjoying the small things, feeling satisfied, and releasing what we don't need. As I've aged, I've realized that some habits and lifestyles I once thought were crucial no longer benefit me. In fact, leaving these habits behind has not only brought me tranquility, but also a fresh sense of meaning and happiness. In this contemplation, I want to share 7 important changes I've made, each of which has helped me live with more purpose and joy in my older years. Whether you're just starting to learn about slow living or are already on this journey, I hope these ideas offer both encouragement and solace. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. The first change is letting go of television and mainstream media. There was a time when TV was a key part of my day. Like many people, I'd arrive home, sit down, and turn on the TV almost automatically. News shows, talk shows, and the newest dramas offered a continuous flow of amusement and data. It felt usual, even vital, but as time went on, I started to understand. The more television I watched, the more strange and separated I felt from myself and the world around me. TV, although fun, often just filled my evenings with loud sounds instead of anything truly good for me. The quick, flashy ads, the exaggerated news reports, and even the speedy stories in TV shows made my mind feel messy and full. After an evening of watching TV, I often felt worried, fidgety, and emotionally tired. Slowly, I started watching less TV. At the beginning, it was hard. I felt like I was missing things, like the newest news or a famous show everyone was discussing. But little by little, I understood that the good things I got from watching less TV were much bigger than the things I thought I was missing. Without the constant TV noise, I had time for better activities. I started reading more, cooking with more care, and thinking more about my day. Even better, not watching TV made my sleep much better. Instead of filling my head with the sounds of TV shows at night, I started a calmer routine before sleep, like reading a book, writing in a diary, or just being quiet. These small adjustments help me sleep better and feel more alert in the morning. If you're thinking about watching less TV, don't see it as losing something, but as gaining new opportunities. Without the constant TV noise, you might have more time for good talks, artistic hobbies, and peaceful times that are truly good for your spirit. Life has many lovely small things we often don't notice when we're focused on a screen. I've stopped buying new things all the time. Looking back on my life, I see how much our culture pushes us to buy. We're always told to get more, to upgrade, to replace, to buy the newest item. I used to get caught up in this too, whether it was a new outfit, a cool gadget, or redoing a room. Buying things became a habit to fill the emptiness in my life. But eventually, I started wondering about the real reason for all this shopping. Did it make me truly happy, or was it just a short-term fix? Even more importantly, did I really need all this stuff? As I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate what I already own, instead of always wanting the newest things. Taking care of and fixing up my belongings has become very satisfying. I get a deep sense of accomplishment from repairing, reusing, and finding new uses for things I might have thrown away. For instance, I have an old comfy chair. In the past, I probably would have bought a new fashionable one. Instead, I had it reupholstered. It looks brand new, but it still has its history. Now, whenever I sit in it, I remember not only how long I've had it, but also the effort I put into saving it. This way of thinking has changed how I treat everything I own. From clothes and kitchen tools to other things around the house. Instead of throwing things away. Because my sweater is a bit old, I fixed it instead of getting a new one. I also look after my old pots and pans, some of which I've owned for many, many years. By doing this, I've grown to really admire how well they're made and how long they last. Something I never thought about before. Stopping myself from always shopping has also made me feel much better emotionally. I don't feel stressed about following the latest fashions or getting more stuff than I need. My house feels less messy, and my thoughts are calmer. I've started to value what I have instead of always wanting more things, and I've found that this is where real happiness comes from. If you're hesitant about stopping shopping so much, I suggest you begin slowly. See if you can go a whole month without getting anything new unless you really must. During this time, look at everything you own and think about if it's still useful to you. You might be amazed at how happy and peaceful you feel by enjoying the things you already possess. When I was younger, I worried a lot about famous brands and things that made me look important. I used to care a lot about the clothes, the car, and the stuff I owned. These signs of achievement felt important, not only for how people saw me, but also for how I saw myself. Wearing a fancy label or driving a nice car made me feel good, like those things proved my value. But as I've gotten older, I've realized these things don't last. Expensive names and status symbols might make you feel good for a short time, but they don't make you truly happy or satisfied. Actually, they can stop us from focusing on what's really important: our friends and family, our well-being, and our inner calm. Choosing not to worry about brand names anymore has been a really good decision. I don't care about logos on my clothes or the badge on my car. Now, I care about comfort, if something works well, and if it makes me happy or has a real purpose. This change in how I think has also changed how I see success. I don't measure it by stuff or how I look anymore. Now, success is about my good relationships, feeling peaceful, and feeling like my life has meaning. I value doing things more than owning things, and that change has made me happier than any expensive thing ever could. For instance, a long walk with a friend makes me much happier than shopping for the latest styles. I enjoy simple, meaningful living, like growing my own food, making dinner at home, or spending time with loved ones. Loved ones in nature. These are the moments that define my life now, and they are infinitely more rewarding than any brand name item ever was for those who still feel the pressure to keep up with the latest trends. I encourage you to take a step back and reflect. Ask yourself, do these possessions truly bring you happiness, or are they simply a way of keeping up with the expectations of others and letting go of that pressure? You may find that life becomes simpler, more joyful, and far less stressful. 4. Disconnecting from social media. The rise of social media has revolutionized how we connect with the world. It offers a platform to share our lives, stay in touch with loved ones, and explore new ideas. For many years, I embraced it as a way to remain connected with friends and family, particularly as life took us in different directions. Yet, as time passed, I began to notice how social media made me feel. Despite its promise of connection, I often felt more isolated after spending time online. The curated picture-perfect lives of others, people traveling the world, enjoying grand events or achieving seemingly effortless success, left me feeling like I wasn't doing enough, or that my life was somehow lacking. Moreover, the endless scrolling became a habit, one that stole time and attention from the present moment. I found myself mindlessly checking my phone at dinner, during conversations, or even while sitting in the garden. The constant barrage of information, notifications, and updates created a sense of clutter that was difficult to escape. Eventually, I made the decision to delete my social media accounts, and it was one of the most liberating choices I've made without the distraction of Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I found myself more present in my own life. I reconnected with the people around me, face-to-face, through phone calls, and even through handwritten letters. These real-life connections were far more meaningful and satisfying than anything I experienced online. What's more, stepping away from social media has given me back my time. Without the constant pal to check updates, I found space for reflection, for hobbies, and for simply being in the moment. My days feel fuller, not because I'm doing more, but because I'm paying attention to what truly matters. For anyone considering stepping away from social media, I encourage you to try it, even for a short period. See how it feels to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with the physical one. You may find that life becomes richer, more peaceful, and far less stressful when you're no longer chasing after like, shares, or updates. 5. Avoiding big cities and fast-paced environments. In my earlier years, the allure of city life was undeniable. The fast-paced, the opportunities, the constant buzz of activity. Cities seem to hold endless possibilities. Yet, as I've grown older, I found that the very things that once energized me now leave me feeling drained. The noise, the crowds, the relentless rush of modern life. It all feels overwhelming and distant from the peaceful, purposeful way I now wish to live. Cities are often designed to keep us moving, consuming, and staying busy. Every street is filled with distractions. Whether it's the flashing lights of advertisements or the constant hum of traffic, while it can be exciting over time, it can also become exhausting. I started to notice that after a day in the city, I would come home feeling more anxious and less connected to myself. The constant sensory input made it difficult to unwind and truly relax. In contrast, spending time in quieter, slower-paced environments has brought me immense peace. Whether it's walking through a forest, sitting by a calm lake, or simply being in my garden, these moments in nature allow me to breathe deeply and be present. The stillness of nature helped me reconnect with the simple joys of life. The sound of birds, the rustle of leaves in the wind, or the sight of sunlight filtering through trees. These are the moments where I feel most alive, most centered, of course. I understand that not everyone has the luxury of leaving the city behind, but even within urban environments, it's possible to carve out pockets of calm. Seek out parks, quiet streets, or peaceful corners where you can pause and slow down. Creating these moments of stillness, even in the midst of a bustling city, can make a profound difference in your well-being. For me, avoiding fast-paced environments has been a crucial part of embracing slow living. It's not about withdrawing from life, but choosing spaces and experiences that nourish rather than drain me. Whether in the heart of nature or a quiet city park, I've learned to seek out places that bring me peace and clarity, allowing me to live more fully and intentionally. 6. Not rushing through meals. As I've grown older, I've come to realize that food is more than just sustenance. It's an experience, an opportunity to connect with the people we care about in the world around us. Yet for much of my life, meals were something to be hurried through. Whether it was grabbing a quick bite before rushing out the door, or eating in front of the television, I rarely took the time to truly savor my food. But as I've embraced a slower, more intentional way of living, I've discovered the joy of eating mindfully. I now take the time to prepare meals from scratch, using fresh, wholesome ingredients. I enjoy the process of cooking, the chopping, the stirring, the smells that fill the kitchen, and when it's time to eat, I sit down at the table, free from distractions, and savor each bite. This practice of mindful eating has not only made me appreciate food more, but it has also had a profound impact on my health. I find that I'm more in tune with my body's hunger and fullness cues, and I'm less likely to overeat. What's more, eating slowly has helped me avoid the digestive discomfort that often comes from eating too quickly for me. Meals have become a time of connection, both with the food I'm eating and with the people I'm sharing it with, whether it's a simple breakfast with my spouse or a holiday feast with family. I take the time to be fully present, to enjoy the flavors and to appreciate the effort that went into preparing the meal. For anyone looking to embrace slow living, I encourage you to start with your meals. Turn off the TV, put away your phone, and take the time to truly savor the experience of eating. You might find that this simple practice brings a new level of joy and mindfulness into your life. 7. Letting go of the need to be busy in our society. Busyness is often equated with success. We fill our calendars with appointments, activities, and obligations, believing that the more we do, the more valuable or accomplished we are. But as I've grown older, I've come to see that constant busyness is not a sign of success. It's a sign that we may be neglecting the things that truly matter these days. I make a conscious effort to leave space in my schedule. I no longer feel the need to say yes to every invitation or to fill every moment with activity. Instead, I embrace the beauty of doing nothing, whether it's spending a quiet afternoon reading, taking a leisurely walk, or simply sitting on the porch and enjoying the breeze. I've learned that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. This shift has allowed me to be more present in my relationships, more thoughtful in my actions, and more content with the life I'm living. I've discovered that some of the most meaningful moments happen in the quiet spaces between activities, in the stillness, the reflection, and the simple act of just being. For anyone struggling with the pressure to always be busy, I encourage you to take a step back, look at your schedule, and ask yourself, are these activities truly bringing you joy? Are they contributing to your well-being? If not, consider letting go of the ones that aren't serving you. You may find that in doing less, you create space for more peace, more contentment, and more meaningful connections with the people you love. 8. Practicing gratitude. Reflection as part of my slow living journey. One of the most impactful habits I've adopted is practicing daily gratitude and reflection in the hustle of life. It's easy to focus on what's missing or what's next, but as I've grown older, I've learned to pause and appreciate what's already present in my life. This practice has brought a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Each day I take a few moments, whether in the morning or before bed, to reflect on what I'm grateful for. Small, simple things like a quiet moment with a loved one there, warmth of the sun on my face, or the sound of birds outside my window. These moments, often overlooked, are now central to my sense of well-being. By focusing on these blessings, I found that life feels fuller and richer, even in its simplest form. Gratitude has also strengthened my relationships by expressing appreciation, whether through a kind word, a thank you note, or simply spending more quality time with others. I've deepened the connections I have with those around me. I've realized that relationships, like everything else, require mindful attention to truly flourish. Reflection helps me look back on life with greater peace. Instead of dwelling on regrets or missed opportunities, I focus on the lessons I've learned And the personal growth that came from challenges, this shift in perspective, has allowed me to view my journey with more compassion and understanding, turning the past into a source of wisdom. If you're new to practicing gratitude, start small. Write down a few things you're thankful for each day, or take a quiet moment to reflect on your blessings over time. This simple practice can transform how you view your life, bringing more joy and contentment to your everyday experiences, embracing slow living in the later years. As we move into the later years of life, we are given a precious opportunity to reflect on what truly matters. Slow living is not about retreating from the world, but about choosing to engage with it in a more mindful and meaningful way. By letting go of habits and activities that no longer serve us, we create space for what truly brings joy and fulfillment for those of us aged 55 to 80. The journey towards slow living can be transformative. It allows us to savor the present moment, deepen our connections with loved ones, and live with a sense of peace that is often hard to find in today's fast-paced world. I encourage you to consider the ways in which you can simplify your life, let go of what no longer serves you, and embrace the beauty of living slowly and purposefully. It's never too late to start. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you find these stories inspiring and motivating, please comment. 1, if not comment. 0, your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.